Everything is good. Okay, now we see. Oh, I gotta open my bubbly.
Crack of the week.
Wow, that really always spikes the audio when that happens. Okay, I'm gonna actually go over to pictures of us now. I didn't do that before. There we go. Can you actually see the restream? Are you up with all that? I didn't get the notification that we went live, but I'm gonna assume that we are. Yep, there we go. It just came in. No, it came in. They're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Give everybody a minute to catch up and jump in and find us over here before I hit the button, start recording that. That was a fun last podcast. Let's do a little infomercial for our gravel bike podcast, Joey, because we just finished the Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt episode on 113. And I think it was one of our best episodes in a while, I think, because we just had fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. We talked about an event. We had a race director on, and that was a lot of fun. But I think it was just having Wes back and just kind of approaching it with a little bit more of a devil may care attitude was a lot of fun. The devil may care. It's kind of just, it's what it is.
What old people say?
Probably.
You know, when hair is on fire, it smells horrible.
Yes, burning hair is horrible smell. Yeah. We should save some. Maybe send it to Wes and do like a little package that lights on fire as soon as he opens it up.
You see, who shaved his beard and mailed it? Was that a bike or fishing thing?
I have no idea.
Someone shaved a beard, and they be able to how they did it. Maybe it was that ultra romance. I don't know who did it. And they shaved their beard, and then they put it on paper and mailed it to someone.
Phil says he thinks your mic is off. Joey, let me hear you.
Oh yeah, I turned my mic off after last episode. There was some discrepancies we had to talk about. I did not want to be heard.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Casey jumped on too that Joey's mic is off.
It's best that it was off for the time it was.
Oh yeah. Because it was just me kind of rambling. So.
No, it was me.
Well, welcome, Phil. Welcome, Casey. I think we'll actually kick this thing in the butt and get it started.
We're gonna hoof it in the front butt.
Hoof it in the front butt. All right, I'm going to hit the button over here to record because we got people. How does our sound out there now that Joey's actually decided to return to Casey or Phil? Anybody? Is our sound
the
good?
Dark side? I don't think the dark side was the bad. I don't think that's the bad side at all.
No. Billy's here. Hey,
Billy Jones?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit record. We can actually kick this thing off and have
Let's
some
send
fun.
this.
Let's send it.
Let's trailer it down the road.
Full send. Hey, everybody. I'm Brian.
I'm Brian.
I'm Joey. Let's do it that way. That's
I'm
fun,
Joey.
Welcome, everybody, to the Maryland Fishing Line episode 41. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. It is March, Joey.
It is.
It is the month that the clock changes, that spring arrives.
Dark time is later now.
Yes.
It was 6 o'clock. We still had pretty good light. The sunset was beautiful.
It is so nice to be able to drive up here at
In
like
the- not dark
5:15. It's not dark time. It's nighttime. And fantastic. I love March.
Oh, you missed the sheriff's boat.
What happened?
They keep it docked over here,
Uh-huh.
and they were going through the harbor, and it's they got 50 cal mounted on the front of it.
Holy cow.
They do the security at Cove Point,
Wow.
and they got like a couple. I think it was ridiculous because they have all that funding now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they got some pretty.
They got the
heavy
COVID
weaponry.
money?
Yeah,
They got the Homeland COVID
they
money.
got the Homeland security money. The boat sounds great. It's
Before we get going too deep, I want to thank all of our sponsors, i.e., Pay the Bills. Maryland Kayak Outfitters in Lusby, Maryland. mdkayak.com if you're looking for
Is that Lusby?
Yeah, I'm in Lusby. If you're looking for a fantastic fishing experience on St. Leonard Creek, come and find me. Let's go fishing together.
And find the fish.
JMJ Firearms in Mechanicsville, Maryland. Modern Air HVAC in Mechanicsville, Maryland. Robin Cavallaro, what does she do?
She's Remax 1.
And what is that?
She'll sell your shit for
baby.
you.
Yeah, she will sell a house or buy a house, and
Maybe
she
can
does
teach
it.
me about escrow.
She actually, I just saw on her Facebook, I think, she is one of the top 20. I think she came in as number 18 Remax 1 real estate agents in the state for volume. So she knows her stuff and will get the job done. Stoney's Kingfishers in Solomon's, Maryland, Scott's Cove Marina in Deal Island, Maryland, Huntingtown Automotive in Huntingtown, Eat Chesapeake in Dunkirk, Rose Haven, and Bowie, otherwise known as the Chesapeake Grill. You're going to find links to all of these folks in the show notes or in the show description. Make sure to let them know you heard about them here.
Well, she sold me an auger.
No, I got a
I'm
good
looking for an auger guy.
I got an auger guy. If you'll give me your tractor guy, I'll
So,
give you an auger guy.
Real quick, I'll put this out here. I sent
Yep.
you. I sent it to my dad, and I was really close to buying it. There's a really nice Camp Chef pellet smoker, speaking of augers,
Mm-hmm.
half off at Lowe's.
Saw that.
It's one of those returns, and it feels like they screwed up putting the hardware on. There might be a couple strip bolts. Thought about going back to buy it this morning. So my Camp Chef is a couple years old. This is like the new digital, full digital everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is really nice.
It was $299. Didn't that what the price was you sent me?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm like half of me was. I went in there to buy a dishwasher and almost left without a smoker. Would have gotten I don't think I would have gotten in trouble. Just been like,
No.
that's not a
No.
washing dishwasher.
Your sweet wife would not have given
No,
you any grief
no.
about that.
I'm still thinking about going over tomorrow morning and see if it's available.
It was still there?
I don't know. I feel like I could buy that, figure out what's wrong with it, and then sell my old smoker for the same price.
You could easily figure out what's going on with that because most people trying to put that stuff together have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they-
you use the screwdriver and
Yeah.
so.
So
anyway.
where? Well, wait. If you're going
There's
to
a
go back,
Lowe's, Lexington Park, or Watt, California, whatever you want to call it.
okay. I was going to say, did you want to share that location if you're actually
Yeah, I don't
thinking
care
about
if
going?
it helps someone get a pellet
Okay.
smoker. I prefer the Camp Chef over the Traeger, but that's personal.
Mine is a
opinion.
charbroiler.
Yours is very similar to the Camp Chef platform.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel
Yeah.
good about that then.
Yeah.
Joey approved.
I mean, at the end of the day, whatever smokes your smoke, like floats your boat. I do. We talk about smoking on here a lot, and most outdoorsmen tend to cook,
Let's welcome folks
and women.
Let's welcome folks in the live stream. Casey, Billy, Phil, Paul. I think that's it right now. No, or at least people haven't shouted out. Sean actually showed up in the bike.
Yeah. Where's
podcast.
Jerry?
Well, Jerry never. Well, Jerry's not going to chat. He's going to be sitting quietly and listening, and he probably sent us all sorts of texts about stuff.
Mr. Gergich.
Yes. Yeah. Billy chiming in. Yeah, enjoys that smoker. So that is the way to cook today, I think.
Yep.
That's the way to do it. What are you drinking over there, Joey?
I got an old fashioned that I doubled. I drank a little bit of it, and then I doubled again.
Every time I looked over there for the last hour and a half, you had the bottle open. You were holding it
Now
up
I
to the
got little bit
camera.
of the, actually, I probably wasted a little
Yes,
sip of that.
you did.
tried.
Well, you could filter that out. Or just chew the wax.
It's been a long work week so far.
That's the way to do it, is put the wax in the bottom of the bottle, let it soak it up, and then you just chew on the wax. Or gnaw it. I don't have any teeth, so I couldn't chew on it. But anyway. Let's take a look at what's going on around the state. Chain pickerel, obviously still the prime target right now for area fishermen, but I have a feeling that that's all getting ready to change because it's March, baby. And we're getting ready
October.
we're getting ready to start catching fish. Yellow perch, a few reports in, but
So do chain pickerel not identify as fish?
yes, they do.
You just said we're about to start catching fish.
Well, I don't think a chain pickerel. I mean, it's like a great winter fish.
Just the way you worded, I was like, well, what does it identify as?
It can self-identify as whatever it wants to.
Yeah.
It's just kind of podcast, and you can be whatever you want to be. You be you, you do you, and do it well with 100% of what you got. Yellow perch, we've seen a few reports, but I was looking back at what I did today was I went back and looked in some of the Facebook groups for fishing and did like some searches on yellow perch, and it is legitimately like a pattern. The first week in March, bam, bam, bam. People just nonstop pictures of yellow perch, talking about yellow perch. Yes.
Do they call it the yellow pages?
No. The yellow perch pages.
Yeah.
The perch pages.
Someone laughed at home and thought I was an idiot.
Now's the time, folks, to start hunting for some of those early season fish, targeting those shallows. March sun is like the strongest sun of the year. The spring sun is closer, I think, and it's some of the strongest sun. You notice in the fall it kind of wanes away, but the spring sun is very, very strong, and that's what's going to warm the water up quick. And you might be surprised what you can find on some of those flats, because what will happen is that water will warm up in the afternoon when that sun gets on it. The bait fish will move up there, And what follows the bait fish is the big fish. They're going to start coming up out of those deep holes that they've been, their little hidey holes all winter long, and they're going to start coming up into those shallows. So don't be afraid in those late afternoons to start throwing some places that you may think you may not produce, because they might just turn on for you. And I know that it could actually, you could really be surprised with some big catfish, maybe even a big rockfish, depending upon where you are.
I'll say March used to be the time of year where you could go to the power plant.
Yeah.
And catch big fish.
So it just had a flurry of activity in the live stream. Yep, Robert, the Maryland Fishing Report from DNR starts up this week, so we should start getting some good information from around the state. Billy's headed out to Mattawoman, weather permitting. I think this weekend should be nice. We're getting ready to have a little spell here. I think it's supposed to be 60 degrees tomorrow. You get 2 or 3 days of that warm, clear sky when that sun is really getting on the water, and that second or third day, the fish will really start to turn on. Mark is here. Hey, Mark. Mark is a family friend, and I fished with him several times over last year. Glad to have you here, Mark. Thanks for joining us in the live stream and on the podcast. Yeah, we're going to talk about trailers and kayaks and what you're doing when you put all those two things together. So, Joey, before we get into any of that, what's going on in your world?
Not a whole lot.
I'm going to sit back and listen.
Say about the same old. This is work. It's been a busy week for work. I don't know. I don't have too much to say. I cleaned out my kayak yesterday. I will say that.
Did you?
Yeah, there was some water still. It's kind of nasty. But no, that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I messaged you this morning. I wanted to come by and look.
Oh yeah, we were
your
COVID scared.
Yeah, the shop was closed today.
I went in and out. I was over at McRun a little bit. I was on the phone a lot today. I actually got a lot of work done.
You need to tell me when you're down in places like that. I'll swing by and see you. Get in the way. And
Over in Leonardtown?
yeah, I was down there today.
Oh, I was doing. What do you want me to update you on my schedule every day?
Yeah, it would be nice. Just plug me into your calendar.
If you hook me
So I
up
know
with your
when-
auger guy, I'll tell. No, I just
got a
had
good
random
auger
stuff.
guy.
I'm figure out how to get. So we were talking about our watches and tides. I actually have a watch that I can get tides on now, so now I can check like 7 places.
I'm jealous.
Yeah,
I'm
I've been
jealous
really.
of that.
I love this watch. It's
I am-
probably my favorite one I put on my wrist. Long-term review. I've had it for a week.
Mhm. It's big. It's probably. I'm not a big fan of big watches.
It's the
I know you are.
6X, it's the 51. I'm a big with the Wahoo and stuff. I get it because I can't see.
Yeah.
I'm going blind. So like if I'm on the water or I'm riding my bike,
Mhm.
I just figure
Well, I just like the fact that I can turn it on and can track my activities, and I just
Yeah.
use it a lot for the we talked about this last week or the week before. But you that's a big screen on that, and you can customize that screen, right?
Yeah, like this is like this one I got.
Nobody can see
It's
that.
not a stock one I'm showing you. I mean
Yeah.
it's got everything
Yeah.
that I need to on it, and there's way more than this watch than I need.
So since it's in the Garmin universe, you
Yep.
you can plug it into Connect.
Yep.
And actually get all sorts of apps and download watch faces and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
so I actually didn't like any of the watch faces
Hmm.
on the Connect or whatever. Is it Connect for the watch faces or Instinct or
No, it's Connect. I think you still use Connect.
Connect IQ? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or HQ. Found this one last night. It was pretty cool. I know there's a lot of listeners with the Phoenix series on here.
Yeah.
But I was just consolidating, and that's what she wrote.
Yeah.
So
No,
I think it'll be nice for the water.
I think it's going to be great for the water to have tides on there.
I didn't get the solar one because the Sapphire wasn't added as solar. I did find the benefits of the solar is it kind of flatlines. Marcus was telling me, and then I was watching some videos. So it has its benefits.
And
Kind of
what-
flatlines your battery. It doesn't. You're not going to expect a huge boost, but you might stay at 80% the whole time you're out there, which is really cool.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So it's got its benefits.
I've never, with my Instinct, I've never really had battery issues.
No,
I charge it every 4 or 5 days, probably. Whether
This-
you know,
this thing I've had it on, I don't know, for like a week. I am at 89% battery.
so it'll track your GPS. It'll track
It'll
your heart
basically
rate.
tell you everything.
Are you going to track your fishing on Strava this year?
I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, just being able to go. And I set my stuff to private. When I was we talked about this. When I was tournament fishing, I would set that to private. But when I was not tournament fishing, you could go to my Strava and actually see where I fished, where I caught fish, the whole nine.
Sometimes I just forget to.
I got real good if you get into a habit of it. If you get into a woo, you get into a habit of it, and it kind of, for me, that works. Hey, Sean, good to see you showing up at the right podcast. Sean showed up at the
wrong podcast earlier, Sean. I don't know. I guess I'm a Garmin fanboy now because I got my big Garmin unit on the Kayak. I got my watch.
I wouldn't call you a Garmin fanboy though. I don't think I'd call you a fanboy. Michael's in the house. Hey, Michael. So for me, I've decided, we talked about battery boxes and power stuff last week, and I have decided instead of just having 5, I was going to have 1 for each boat.
I didn't even know you're doing more than 3.
I'm doing 6. I'm making 6 battery boxes.
You making me one?
Yeah, I will. I told you.
I haven't seen mine yet.
When you get your ice hole power, I've got a whole thing set up down in the barn.
Watch your language.
What did I say?
You're an asshole.
When you get your box, because I know your box is coming and it's going to have all the bits, parts, and pieces and be pre-drilled. But I've got a whole station set up where I've got all the wire and all the cutters and all the crimp connectors and everything, because I'm assuming it's blade connectors. It looks like it across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get your box, you do enough stuff for me in the bike world. I want to do you a favor and do you a solid. I will wire your box up and get you set up and ready to roll so you can I'll take a little stress out of your life. How's that? I like doing that for you whenever I can. There's not many times I can do that for you, but
you got me dinner tonight. I owe you for that, but I didn't have to. Now my gumbo is my lunch this week. I made gumbo Sunday night. I was thinking a little bit for the podcast with pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
But I was also low on sandwich meat, so I'll conserve that for Jessica and take gumbo for work.
Well, I'm glad I could
Just
help.
some Zatarain's,
Glad I could help. So I've made 3 boxes so far. I've got 3 more to do. It's kind of tedious work. It takes about an hour and a half or so by the time you drill the boxes and get everything smoothed out and get all the wires snipped and cut. And it's really it's a pain in the butt dealing with the little LED wires. They're 28 gauge, tiny little wires, and trying to get them wrapped up and stripped without actually pulling any of the strands of the wire out at the same time, so you can get a good solid connection. What I think I really need to do is take all of those LED lights once I strip them, and I probably ought to take some solder and tin them.
Oh, so I got a whole soldering kit.
Yeah, I've got all that. I just hadn't done it because I was just wrapping it inside for the ground and wrapping it inside itself for power. So I was bundling it with other wires, so to speak. So it wasn't as big a deal, but after looking at them and kind of seeing how thin they are, and I'm worried about how fragile they will be. And so that might be a thing I do. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to come with, but if that's the case, I will maybe move in that direction. But so far, so good, man. They're coming out beautiful. Cutting the boxes is not a problem. Getting everything drilled out takes very little bit of time. The hardest part's trimming the inside of the boxes where you have little support beams in those Plano boxes. And Sean's right. Sean sent me a message. He said, you need to pull that Plano sticker off there and slap some other...
It's a Faka sticker.
Yeah. Oh, and I also...
Faka power.
For all you Fort Hill Kayak Angler members out there that are listening, I ordered keychains today. I'm a whore for the sticker mule deals.
Oh.
Every time they show up, I'm like, oh, could I use that? It's like the one today was like keychain fobs in like acrylic. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take some of those. So I was like, which logo should I use?
Dazzles.
Yeah, I used the Fucka logo. So I've got keychain fobs for everybody for whenever you come around. We'll actually get that together. But I definitely want to get down and look at what you've done with your boat for where you're bringing your transducer wire.
I'm not done with that. I meant to tell you that.
Oh,
Example.
I wanted to come look at it to see how you...
Every time I want to do something, I get sidetracked. Like yesterday, when I was waiting for the fire marshal, I was like, oh, I got a crap load of water in here. And it was brown.
Okay, well, then I'm not worried about it. Yeah, Sean, Sticker Mule is fantastic. They got good quality stickers. Great deals, great pricing, fast shipping.
Maybe we're overlooking our sponsorships for both our podcasts and go to like Sticker Mule.
We ought to.
Yeah.
Well, I just gave them like a free shout out, but they're legit one of the best sticker companies out there.
We've been using them for the last few years with the podcast stuff, the store stuff I buy there.
Yeah.
It works.
It's such a deal when you catch that, like, the vinyl cutout. It's like $20 or something like that for 50 stickers.
And the quality is great.
The quality is fantastic.
They'll
I'd like
even do just your face if you want it.
I would like to get the Kiss Cut stickers, the ones that have the little slice in the back to make it a little bit easier to peel it open. But so you have a little bit of, you have to work at them a little bit. So not wiring boats. So this is where the whole idea of talking about kayak trailers came from, because I just went last week. I've had a coupon burning a hole in my phone because I had a digital for a Harbor Freight trailer. And it was I'll just basically call it the 1,200 pound trailer, which is the one that I had the coupon for. That's not Sticker Mule.
No, but we were talking about, Casey said something about stickers on water bottles.
Yeah, that's Bernie holding a redfish.
I'm actually I'm actually 100% going to North Carolina next weekend for a redfish.
Yeah, he's wearing the mittens. What's he sitting on? Is he sitting on a cooler?
No. It's like a Yeti style cooler with stickers slapped on it.
Nice. Yes, he's not even sitting in the little folding chair.
Yeah.
That's a great sticker. I don't know where you got that.
Thank you. I bought it the night it all happened. I was like, I had to have that.
So I've had this need for a trailer because, as you know, for me it's a bit of a chore to get a boat from the top of my hill to the bottom of the hill, and to try to do that,
It was a fort at one point in time. I'd expect there to be some obstacle.
Yeah, it was a fort.
Yeah.
And that's why it was a fort, because it sits up high and it has a view. Right now, with no leaves on the trees, I can actually see all the way down from my back deck. I can see all the way down to
Can you see Chris Vassallo when he's out there?
No. But I can see all the way down to front of ears.
Yeah.
I can see the little island. You'll see it on charts called Egypt Cove or Brooms Island. That little, what used to be an actual island right across from Veers. I can actually see that from my back deck. So I can imagine back when
you got a nice back deck. It's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
I can imagine when the was a fort, they would have knocked all those trees down, and when all those trees came down, it was a huge vantage point. You could see.
Could everyone sit on the deck back then?
No, everyone could not sit on the deck.
Yeah.
No, there was no deck then. It was just.
I
don't even know what it looked like. It's probably just a bunch of tents, little pieces of tarp with sticks in it.
I don't think they had tarps back then, there, Brian.
Anyway.
Not the blue ones, at least.
So no, they would have their canvas.
No,
That's what we get so easily sidetracked. We're both a little.
I'm trying.
So I've been having my eyes on a Harbor Freight trailer, one of their kits, for quite some time. And I was waiting for it to go on sale. It was their $350 trailer, and I had a coupon for $269. Folks, if you buy anything from Harbor Freight and you don't use a coupon, you're doing it wrong. You're doing Harbor Freight wrong. You can always find a coupon for whatever you need at Harbor Freight. So, Sean says no, I'm not going to read that.
If you trim the bushes around your deck, it looks bigger. It's true.
Yeah, your deck looks bigger. So, I had my eyes on this trailer. It's their 1,200 pound trailer. It's not their super duty, but just the heavy duty. I mean, it's not like a high quality trailer. It's Harbor Freight. Haulmaster.
Wheels.
It's got wheels, and that's what
axles.
I was really looking for. I needed something really light that I could hook up to the Kubota that would actually be able to go up and down the hill and be able to put a kayak on it. Because as you know, we've tried to put kayaks in the Kubota, on top of the Kubota.
Sucks.
It just, nothing ever worked. I tried putting my T-bone on the Kubota.
I felt like that was going to break.
It was a little more helpful, but it just didn't actually cut the mustard. So I went and I found this trailer. So I went over, I've been watching Waldorf Harbor Freight for like days as soon as it went on sale, because they didn't
You
have
just
any
sit in the
stock.
parking lot?
No, I was just, every day I was loading the website because like they didn't have any in stock, and I did not want to drive all the way over to Virginia to pick it up. So I go and click, there it is. One of these days, I think it was Wednesday of last week, trailer shows up in stock at Waldorf. So I go over there that afternoon and walk in, show the guy the phone, hold up the coupon and said, I'm here for this. And he looks at it.
To ask you for your trailer.
I've come to help, ask for help with the trailer. And the guy looks at the number, he writes everything down, and he goes back and he brings a trailer out and sets it at the front. And I never even walked over and looked at the trailer, right? I had no idea what was going on over there. I was standing over at the register by the office because the guy had never sold a trailer before, and he had to go through this whole thing with the title.
Yeah.
So, make a very long story short, I was there for probably about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes trying to buy this trailer because they couldn't figure out the paperwork for the title. And at one point he says, I need to open the box up to get the VIN number off of the parts and to get the tire stamps off of the tire. And I'm like, dude, do not open that trailer, those boxes up here in the store. And then we've got these big empty boxes with parts full. And it's hard enough to get something from Harbor Freight home with all the parts intact. Now you're going to bust it open and have everything laying all over the store, and then I'm supposed to get it out into my truck. So I said, why don't we do this? Let's pick it up. We'll load it in the truck. And once we got it in the truck, I'll bring the truck around front. We'll bust the box open, and you can get the VIN numbers and everything you need. He said, that's a great idea. So we do that. We load everything into the back of the truck.
Like the new Harbor Freight manager?
Yeah, he said he'd been there less than 4 months.
No, I said, are you now?
No, I know. Am I? So we get everything loaded in the back of the truck, bust the box open. He checks the VINs, does all the stuff he needs to. And he's consulting his little manual, and I'm being really patient because I know. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. So he says, okay, time to ring it up. And I hold the coupon up, and he scans it, and he goes, it's not working. And I'm like, well, it needs to work because that's what I'm paying. And immediately the light bulb went off. I was like, he's loaded the wrong trailer in my truck. And went around and around, and come to find out, yes, in fact, that was what had happened. Instead of the 1,200-pound trailer,
you got the 1720.
He had loaded the 1,700-pound trailer, the heavy duty or super duty or whatever it's called, into the truck. So now I've got this busted open box with trailer parts in the back of the truck, and he rings me up at like $450, and I'm like, no, that's not happening. I was like, I got $269 and I'm paying for a trailer, and I knew that trailer was not coming out of the back of the truck. I knew that was not going to happen. So he said, let me look. He started to do all of his little math and everything, and he's like, open boxes, damage. He said, I can apply everything I can get, and I got the trailer down to $299. Is that okay? As opposed to $269. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I'll do the $299. So I feel like there's not a whole lot of difference. It's heavier gauge steel. And instead of an open U-channel for the axle, it's actually an enclosed, thicker, heavier grade steel. And it took all day.
So you ever ask how long did it take?
It took probably 4 or 5 hours to put that thing together. I had to put it together by myself. And you ever tried to turn a trailer over that weighs 350 pounds by yourself?
Oh, yeah, that's why I don't sell those Malone trailers anymore.
So you did sell the Malone trailers for a while.
We did, and you tell people you wanted to charge them $200 for assembly, which in your eyes is really low. In their eyes, it's like, why are you ripping me off when I should charge them $500?
Man,
I don't. Yeah, go to Lowe's, go to Harbor Freight.
It was a massive, massive job.
Yeah,
and to compound issues, if you look at these trailers on YouTube, the instructions for them are horrible, absolutely horrible, and none of the parts are marked. And the best piece of advice that I got off of YouTube before trying to put this thing together was actually just look at the diagrams. Pay no attention to the words.
Oh, yeah, it's
around.
like Legos.
It was basically just look. And there was lots of pieces which you couldn't actually pick up the subtle differences. So you spend a lot of time. I did take my time. I took a lot of time to make sure I was putting the right parts in the right places. And I think I only had 1 or 2 bars that I had to oh, that's not quite right. I had to take it off and put it back together a different way.
Did you have a lot of extra pieces when you were done?
No.
Dang.
Well, I didn't put the little stake bodies on because I'm not putting stakes on the side. So I got some extra nuts and bolts, but I don't have. They're all nuts and bolts in places that there need to be. But
are those the little silver? I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, the little things on the side.
Oh, you're not using those?
Probably not.
We made those bunks with those like H looking.
So my plan, and
steel?
this is where you're talking about modifications. I want to put a deck on it, and it'll still because right now it folds. And
yeah, it's cute. It's got little wheels to fold.
Yeah, so when you fold it up, and it's perfect because I don't want to keep it out. Little trailers like that have a tendency to wander off if you leave them out in the outdoors.
How do they do that? They just
You
drive
tell
on
me.
off?
Yeah, they just drive on off. I've seen more than one just drive
Those
on
trash
off.
pandas take them.
So the ability to fold it up, which is really not a problem at all. You take some pull pins out and a couple of bolts that you have to take out, and then you can fold that thing up really easy by yourself. But I do want to put a 1/2-inch plywood deck on there. I don't want to use 3/4 inch because it has a problem folding. But it's also, I don't need that much. And then if I want to put a second level or a second deck on it to carry a second boat, I'm thinking about making that, instead of out of the 2x4s in the wood through those little stake body brackets, I'm thinking about doing that with Unistrut.
Oh, we got steel over somewhere by the airport.
Yeah, you can get Unistrut at like any hardware store, 10-foot
Is that the
section
same
of
thing?
it. Same thing. It's slotted and it's bent and it's channeled. It's really super strong. Should work out perfect. But I don't know that I'm going to need that, because my plan is to just use that trailer mostly to go up and down the hill with boats. That's the plan. So I did hook it up to the Kubota and backed it down the hill. Now, you know my hill. That was quite the feat to actually back that trailer on a little Kubota down the hill. But it was no big deal at all, no problem. Everything handled absolutely perfectly. I do want to put a little 2,000 or 2,500 pound winch on the front of that trailer, so that because when I get that trailer down the bottom of the hill where the pier is, it's still at an angle, and trying to push a boat up into that, just like we did when we were trying to push it up into the Kubota's bed, it doesn't want to do it. So I think if I put a little 2,500 pound winch on the front of that trailer and then hook that up, it would make it a whole lot easier to finagle that, but a little remote control on the winch, make it a whole lot easier to kind of pull that boat up square on there. Some D-rings on the deck, tie it down, and up the hill you go. So that's ultimately my plan. But I'm really impressed with the trailer for the price.
Long-term review coming?
Long-term review. I've had it. I've driven it down the hill one time, so I'm going to give you a long-term review. Yeah. It's definitely a purchase. There's a lot of people that use those trailers, and you can modify them. Like they're just basically a platform that you work off of. And I love the idea of the fact that it folds up and it tucks away in the barn, out of the way. I don't even have to think about it. It's not sitting out in the weather. Now, one thing I know I still have to do, I need to repack the bearings, because those bearings that come in those Harbor Freight trailers are what they call shipping grease.
Shipping grease and bike stuff.
Yeah, and they give you, and they tell you, and here's what's funny. They tell you in the instructions to pull out the bearings on the outside, and they say it's shipping grease, so you should definitely pull that bearing out. They don't tell you to pull out the bearing on the inside of the wheel. It's like, well, if you're just following, it's another example of how poor the instructions are written. If I'm going to pull out the bearing on this side, why would I not want to pull out the bearing on the other side and repack that one as well? So I'm still going to do that. That's something I've got.
Here's the trick in life.
Yeah.
My dad will tell you, I just don't read instructions.
I think
I'm a
that's
wizard.
it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I just look at the pictures.
Look at a picture.
Just look at the pictures and go from there. Yeah. And that's it. That's all. But I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm excited about that. The ability to get a boat easily up and down the hill now, because that was just a big pain in my side. And I'm still not 100% sure that I want to use it for other people's boats. Just for getting my boats up and down the hill. I don't think I want to take on the liability with other people's boats.
You shouldn't even said it out loud, because people are going to ask.
No, I'm
going to ask.
Well, I'll take your boat up and down the hill.
I'm not breaking down. No. My Slayer was too heavy. My Titan.
I do think,
once I get in it and ride it down.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. It's easy to get down the hill.
Bobsledding.
Getting it back up the hill is the problem.
No, going down almost took me out last year.
Yeah, it's true. You did end up ripping a part of your boat off. And Michael makes a point, it's easily a 4-boat trailer. I don't know if I could get 4 boats on there, but I think with Unistrut and making it a little bit wider, I could probably get 2 boats up on the top and easily get 1 boat in the center. And yes, Robert, that did come with a title. So I think I'm gonna actually put plates on it, but I think I'll probably go to Maine to get plates because it's cheaper and you don't have to go through all their paperwork. Ryan, first time here, listens to the podcast after work on Wednesday, but watching it live, loves the show. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for watching. Thank you for that.
DiGiorno.
So that's kind of my story of a trailer. And you have a different kind of trailer that you carry a lot of boats on.
We got 2, 3 now.
And how many boats can you carry on the trailers that you guys run with?
Our utility trailer, 4 propel boats comfortably.
So four propel.
Yeah, but we
drives.
built the bunks, the steel bunks. Like, we got it from Posner's. And then obviously we have like a 20-something foot box trailer.
Yeah.
If we had like some huge flotilla post COVID, I could use.
Yeah.
No, I mean our utility trailer we just got from Lowe's and then modified it.
I think it's the way to go.
Yeah.
You know, and the Malones are nice trailers. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
And they're set to go. But
So-
they're a little pricey.
I mean, I want to say there's a couple early. It was. I don't know. The last couple that really wanted a trailer, I still didn't sell it to them.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up buying a Slayer Max. Was that you?
Yeah, it's me. Sorry.
Slayer Max and a Slayer 10. I forgot where they drove to get a trailer pre-built, a kayak trailer from a shop. They bought the
Wow.
boats for me, and I outfitted them with everything. Might have been a couple years ago. That's how long it's been. COVID makes it feel weird. Yeah, they came down. The trailer was ready. We loaded the boats up.
Yeah.
No, I just don't want to build the trailers.
I know. It
I
was
said we're a Malone dealer. If someone, it's a 6 to 8 hour day to fully build some of these.
and if you do not have an impact driver,
Yep.
don't even think about it.
Oh, and if you do, you need a couple batteries too.
Well, I've got an air one and
Oh,
I got an electric one too, but I think I use the electric one for this.
I think I lost my air compressor today.
What happened? Like,
Well, I left it in our utility trailer out back, and I forgot to look to see if it was still there, and I feel like it's missing.
oh no.
I used, I was filling up our trailer tires the other day with it.
Mm.
It's just a pancake, and I left it in the utility trailer.
Yeah.
I might have forgot about it.
Well, you know, I'm going to send people your way. If I get people that say, you know,
Don't send trailers my way.
no, not for trailers.
Don't
but-
sell boats this year. I just got some bad news today.
No. Rentals. I want to send rentals your way. If people want me to take them to someplace like Mattawoman or Mallows, would you even rent pedal drive boats into Mallows?
Oh yeah,
You would.
my boats are 100%. I'm emphasizing taking them off site because we're going to store them at Macintosh Run
Mm-hmm.
with all of our paddle equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And I just redid the description in Fair Harbor today. It's like a highly encouraged offsite rentals with them.
Yeah.
But if you
Well, I can
I had to
imagine
do
that.
the fine print today where if you're responsible for transportation, and if you reserve it and you can't take it safely, I can't return your money. I had to write that.
That's
You
the
know,
way
it's
that it
fair.
has to be.
If you don't put that little stuff in there and they show up with a Prius and nothing,
Yeah.
with a Titan 10 or 12 that I have, sure,
I could probably get a Titan 10 in the back of Prius.
you probably could. I have a Slayer for that, a Slayer 10, but what I'm saying is I had to do all that details today with.
Yeah.
No, I'm highly encouraged. I make it, my rental rates are very much take it for multiple days because it's really cost effective.
Yeah.
And do whatever you want. Just
Yeah.
come back in one piece.
Um,
And I just bought landing gear for them today. All
Am
my
I
boats will have wheels.
am I going to get my landing gear and my
You
bars?
don't have any native stuff. The other stuff's coming from. I haven't done my Boondocks order. That's why
Okay. Because I know I wanted to get the crossbars for the you know where
Yeah.
I'm at on that. So I mean, the importance of a trailer and Michael made a point here because he wanted to put the little trailer to build a rack for it so the boat goes high, and you see this a lot when you look for
and all your
custom
gear
built-
underneath,
and all your gear, and you can make it like a secure box. You can put
which
your
is great.
jackets, fishing gear in. Everything goes below.
If you're not putting a 150-pound kayak up there, that sucks.
Trying to get it high. Yeah.
Want to get
Yeah.
high?
So one of the things I think I'm going to do as well, and I'm going to do this, modify my carts. I've never really been happy because when I built the carts to store the boats in the barn, my old town, I've got the pieces of PVC that the boat rides on really nicely because I've got that hole shape on the old town. But the Titans seemed everywhere you look, they want to store flat. We talked about this. You sent me over to the Titan group to actually you want them to store flat. But still, they're kind of exposed. And I was watching some other videos, and some people built some very slightly angled brackets and then used some plastic Trex decking.
I got a good answer for you.
So that, I think, is a great solution for that, and it actually is a great solution for the second deck. If with some Unistrut, if I actually wanted to build something where I could put two boats up top, one boat in the bottom, so I could actually transport three boats. But
What you need to do, go to the store, get some Grey Poupon, go to your local Hobie dealer, buy a Hobie, and Hobie has racks that are pre-made or things that are pre-made for the whole of their boats.
Yeah, I know.
Like they're perfect.
Yeah.
Like perfectly shaped.
Yeah. There's no fun in that. There's no fun in
What
that.
I'm saying is,
A part
much
of it was it somebody described like fishing kayaks are the Legos of
Yeah,
the fishing
but
world. It's like you want to play with
freaking
these
Hobie
things.
has everything figured out.
I know, but
It's really expensive.
it's really expensive, and you don't get to play, and you don't get to tinker,
Yeah.
and that's a part of the fun, in my opinion. It's part of the
Yeah.
fun is the ability to play and tinker and kind of fart around with the boat a little bit. So I don't know. I just that was kind of like occupied my whole existence, this trailer, for the last not this whole week, it was building boxes, but last week it occupied sort of like my
Building
whole
boxes.
existence. Well, you like my boxes, and I'm going to build your box, so I'm learning what I'm doing. So you'll get the wiring will be done very neat and tidy for your. Now I'm going to make it a big old rat's nest inside of there because I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Yeah, just lifting half of 150 pounds, weld a roller on the back of the rack, and put a winch on the front. And
Is that what that guy did in your video?
yeah, that was crazy.
Oh.
Well, no, he was putting it on the top of his car, and he used a front rack with a winch on top of
Yeah.
it, and lifted it up, and had PVC guides and all.
I am
going to
be the guy at a certain point when this gets way too far. I'm going to tell you to buy a micro skiff. When it does get really out of hand. No, 150 pounds, no matter what, still that's a lot of boat.
A lot of boat.
When you move a lot of those around, it's not easy.
Yeah, and if you're manhandling that much boat multiple times a day.
Yeah.
But if Christine Fisher can do it, she loads her PA-14 in the back of her pickup truck
Yeah.
and does it by herself.
Oh,
You
I
ever
don't
seen
have
the
an
video?
issue with the back of the pickup truck.
Well, that's
She
the other thing.
manhandles that.
She manhandles that boat like.
And she doesn't have the nice boondocks because they don't play well with Hobie.
Mm,
She uses the plugs, the regular
the
little
scupper
dock-
carts.
Yeah,
Yeah, which are horrible.
which is horrible. You lose
I
all your
just-
crap.
Yeah,
But
you
that's
have to
what she
basically
sponsored.
turn the boat over.
Yeah.
But if she can get a PA-14 in the back of her pickup truck, and that's the other question, is at what point do you actually need the trailer?
Well, say I'm fortunate to have a pickup truck
Yeah.
that I've been using.
Yeah. So if you don't have a pickup and you're only looking at roof racking it, then a trailer is obviously right
Yeah.
for you. But and for me, it's carrying multiple boats if I decide to go that direction, or it's the ability to get that boat up and down the hill, is the other thing. And that's because I tried one time to actually get my truck down the hill with the boat in the back. That was quite the experience. Yeah, it was interesting. So I am excited that the rack or the truck seems to be coming together nicely. So and the trailer seems to be working out. So and you were saying don't sell boats this year. Your supply is going to be limited.
Man, I
again?
just got a call from Native today, which is Native Bonafide Hurricane Liquid Logic. The boats are going to be even harder to get this year than last year.
Wow. Wow.
Big Adventures, which is Native and Bonafide, aren't accepting orders till August 2nd now.
Wow.
And I don't know if I'm getting a lot more natives after my first order.
So there's little inside information. If you're thinking about a boat,
I sold all
this-
mine.
yeah, but if you're thinking about
I
it,
have a Titan 13 left.
you see something used, or that's a big boat. Titan 13's a big boat.
I'm trying to trade it for a 10.5 right now.
Okay.
I have to wait for a dealer who's looking for a 13
Mm-hmm.
that has a 10.5.
Oh, and you can do just like a swap on
Yeah,
that.
they're really strict right now. But there's
Yeah.
also a nylon shortage. There's some of the plastic they're using for bonafides. They're not able to get as much right now. Like it's a huge trickle thing.
Wow.
So
And it's across the board though. Everything.
yeah.
Bikes. I think we're up against the same thing.
Oh, bikes are 12 to 18 months for certain stuff.
Yeah.
I was at Lowe's yesterday, and was trying to buy a dishwasher, and then certain things are here and there, and everyone knows it's a kitchen appliance, anything.
Yeah.
Home renovation stuff people are behind on.
Yeah.
So I can get. I mean, Michael, I can get in touch with anyone, but no one in the kayak industry, like no one, is accepting new dealers. Like the president of Big Adventures today was telling me he has a folder about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick of applications for new dealers.
Wow.
But they can't even. No one's going to take new dealers when they can't fill their current dealers.
Right. Why would
So-
you do that? All you're going to do is
Yeah.
piss off your current distribution network.
So no, I've gotten in touch with Crescent Vibe, New Canoe, Ocean, it's like 7 people. You know, it's a squeaky wheel, but no one's accepting. They got to fill their own dealers before they can take on new dealers.
And that makes sense.
So
And you actually want it that way
yeah,
as a dealer. I mean,
I'll pick up Crescent when I can, and I'll add that to the fleet.
Yeah.
But that'll be about it.
okay. Well, I'm excited about actually getting out on the boats this year. I'm ready for this fleet to be. I've started putting fish finder pieces together today.
Did you fish find your rod holders?
No, not yet. I'm worried about that. They'll show up. They'll show up.
I think I
know
got to
they're
do
gonna
my
show up.
Yak Attack order for April now.
You might need to put.
I'm going to stock a lot of those rod holders.
If I don't find them by then I may need them. I'm short of this or that this week, Joey.
You're short A.
Yeah, I've got 3 things in here,
That's fine.
and this is the way it is. Anybody had any questions or anything in the live stream about stuff we were talking about?
Trailers. Just live on the water.
or create a relationship with somebody who's got the ability for you just to lease a boat for the season and have it sit on the dock and waiting for them ready to go. Casey said yes, just a baby trailer going on an adventure. Casey, talking about babies, let's get on that.
You know, as someone who's in the age bracket as Casey and Brennan, maybe they don't want kids right now.
Oh, I know. I just like to
You know, we ain't them boomers who need like 17 kids.
PFD stock and paddle stock yet? Michael's
Oh
looking
yeah,
for.
the bending branches are in. Well, a couple. I got some of the angler paddles, Michael. But I did find out the other day that on all composite paddles, they're 12 to 14 weeks out.
Oh my god!
So like my spring stuff's showing up, but I put in an order which will be a June-ish order. I already have like 5 separate bending branches orders staged through the summer. And I just did a 6th one just because I found out the composite paddles are going to be.
Wow.
So like I don't want to wait till June and add one because it might take 8 weeks from there.
Your whole job is going to be consumed by
Forecasting.
Yeah, exactly, and trying to balance stock and inventory and
We're
ordering.
getting yelled at by half the people.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So, glazed donut. Oh, that's actually a good one. Let's do that.
Yeah, I do have. Sorry, Michael. I have the adjustable, and I think I have a 250 and/or 260. But I definitely got the adjustables.
Okay. Brendan just threw out a this or that, and I'm going to use it
a lot.
as the first one. Glazed donuts or powdered donuts, Joey?
Glazed, but I
Glazed.
recently fell in love with the powdered vanilla filled because I didn't know it was a thing.
Powdered vanilla. Now I can do.
I like just putting it all around my lips.
I like jelly filled
Rick
donuts, and you can find.
I
Same
like
thing
jelly
hap-
filled.
Oh, I love jelly filled. That raspberry jelly filled, the Krispy Kremes with the raspberry. They're glazed with the raspberry. Now I want donuts. You did this to me the other night where I wanted spicy nuggets when we left here.
Spicy donuts.
Spicy nugget
little
donuts.
sriracha icing on there. Yeah. Sriracha and filled.
I'm definitely a glazed donut.
I love glazed.
You can't, especially the when the hot lights on at Krispy Kreme. And they basically melt in your mouth.
Not fair.
So good. So good.
Yeah. Did I ask you if you had the donuts at the Amish market?
Yeah.
You get like the actual maple bacon and like the fruity pebble and
Making me hungry. I think everybody's going to come in on. Let's see. Paul said glazed. Casey said glazed. Sean coming in out of left field, powdered with a filling.
I only like the powdered
Woo!
vanilla. Rick James.
Michael glazed. B Donuts in La Plata.
I heard that place was good.
I've heard a lot of good things about that. Robert says glazed, and Brendan, yeah, glazed and filled. That's it's like the ticket right there. Second item on this week's this or that, a tie-in to our trailer discussion. A trailer or a truck bed?
Truck bed.
Truck bed. I mean, it's easy. It's so easy. It's the right
Oh
thing
yeah.
to do.
I mean,
But if you're trying to carry multiple boats,
I got a rack on my truck bed.
so I can get
You can get one of those too, Brian.
the
truck bed racks.
No, because I got the cover on the
Just get
bed.
rid of the cover.
No, get rid of the cover.
Get a cap.
No.
I haven't
I'm fine
seen
just
your
where it
color
is.
Tacoma with a color matching cap yet. That
I
would
would-
look
I would do it-
SCXY.
I would do what Jerry did and get that.
Oh, with a
the
4,000 pound.
the Line X.
No, it looks good.
It does look really good. Is it heavy? It probably is heavier.
Cherries?
Than,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is. I hadn't thought about that.
No, my only mistake with my pickup truck was never getting a cap for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the tonneau covers. I like the rolling cover that I have on the back of the Toyota. I really like that.
A Tundra, like Sean, a Tundra with a cap,
Mhm.
man, that is a mobile home.
Well, true. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, no doubt about that.
The only problem, though, like I'm going to go truck bed because I prefer it.
Mm.
Don't worry about your trailer blowing up, stuff falling off,
Mhm.
title,
Wheels going south, bearings, repack bearings every 1,000 miles.
Me and Dave wants to buy a new truck. Finding a 4-door, full size, like the Tundra has a huge rear door.
Mm-hmm.
My F-150 has the big rear door. There's multiples now. The power cab, with power wagon, but with a full size bed and like 6+ feet.
Yeah,
you can't find that. It's
Mm-mm.
hard unless you go to like a Super Duty or something.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
That's been because he wants to still maneuver boats and stuff, and then a cap and sleep in it.
Yeah,
it's hard to find.
Jerry hooked up his back of his
He sleeps
Tacoma.
in
He's
that.
got.
He's like Sasquatch.
He's a big guy too.
What's he 6'3", 6'4"?
I don't know, giant. He's giant size. If he can fit in there and sleep in there, I think anybody can.
Like I said, like Jerry said, he doesn't need a concealed carry permit to scare people.
You just walk around the corner and look at you.
Yeah.
Where's the live stream at? Casey said truck. Paul said truck. Sean said truck. Robert said trailer. Can't afford a truck. Casey, no cap. That's my girl.
Hey, Robert, I'll sell you an F-150.
Yep, Joey's got an F-150 for sale. Michael's trailer for me. Sean, I don't know what I would do without my cap. Yeah, Michael, those FJs look really sharp. I was looking at one in the parking lot at
The
Sneed's
new
the other day.
Land Rover Discovery or whatever looks like the old FJ.
Yep. Brendan said truck bed. Casey hates the bed caps for some reason. That's because she's my daughter. Otherwise, I probably would have got one of those instead of the tonneau.
Is that like the thing where you put the face in the peanut butter there?
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
truck
she's
caps
just
and face in
just
peanut butters.
Just the raising them right.
You know, I'm going to take peanut butter on your truck cap, on your cover, and put a face with peanut butter writing.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Somebody got it.
No,
Phil wants to trade you an
because
Expedition.
there is a vehicle that does get worse gas mileage than my F-150, and it's an Expedition.
Expedition. Second item on this week's this or that, or actually the third because we had the glazed donuts and the would you rather fly or drive?
Where?
Anywhere. Which would you prefer? If you had to go to a location, would you rather fly or would you rather drive?
Can I be picky about my flight?
Sure. Okay, so you're going to North Carolina to go fish.
Drive.
Okay.
Going to Montana?
Uh-huh.
That's a 3 over. That's a 3. Going out west for anything?
Mm-hmm.
It's much. I feel like I could drive. No, last time I went across country did not go well.
Okay.
Fly for the further stuff, but you're also limited. You're cramped.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, driving can get like 5 or 6 hours is like my limit of like that's just a quick, easy go, real quick. A little bit longer than that, it's just kind of all right. I run out of podcasts.
I've gotten used to the whole.
You're like a professional driver.
Yeah, I mean, I go 13 hours to Florida one day and then get in a plane and fly back, but I would much rather drive just about anywhere. I'm going to drive to Texas in April. I don't want to fly anywhere.
Like,
I don't like that being confined and constricted. And you got to tell me how much stuff I can bring. You know, I want to. I need to bring the things I need to bring. I don't need you telling me. If I need a hammer, I need a hammer. If I need a axe, I need an axe.
I think an auger.
I need to bring my auger to Texas. I don't know why, but
I think my only gripe with flying is none of our airports are close. I think if we lived to a closer airport, I would do especially with these $29 tickets.
Yeah, well,
but it's a 2-hour drive.
Huh?
Like by the time, like North Carolina, by the time I did everything from leaving my house, I spent the same amount of time.
Yep.
So.
Yep. It's sort of like that 4 to 5 hour window of by the time you get yourself prepared to go to an airport, you have to get there early. Then you got COVID fears now. Then you're spending all that time in the plane and you're cramped. And then you get
not even thinking COVID, just in general.
Yeah, but I mean the 4 or 5 hour break even sort of like is right there.
And then heaven forbid you get Chipotle while you're in the airport because you're waiting, and then Chipotle happens while you're waiting, while you're on the airplane, and then some lady's in there for too long with her kid, and you about shart yourself in the airplane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of flying. I would almost rather drive just about it. I had to fly when I did Grand Canyon, when I did the Grand Canyon tour a couple of years ago. Had to fly with a
Can't fly
bike.
with your kayak.
Can't fly with a kayak. But if you actually happen to come to the Potomac River for a kayak bass fishing tournament and you need a fully rigged pedal drive kayak to participate in a KBF tournament.
You know where to get those?
I'm the guy to call. You can call me. I'll take care of you.
You're like the auger guy.
I'll hook you up. I'll be your kayak guy. You're the kayak
Robert
guy.
just said just bring a Pringles can.
That's a callback, Joe.
Yeah, that is a callback.
Nice callback, Robert. Well done. Well done. What does the live stream say about all of this? Michael said he wants to drive. Robert, depends on distance. Phil, pre-COVID fly, now drive. Casey, drive, won't fly with dogs. Oh, your dog's on a plane. Oh, my goodness. Those two big
It's
behemoths.
like, yeah, I'm also afraid of snakes on a plane.
Whoa. Paul, depends on what I have to take, but flying is nice. Sean, drive myself, fly with the family. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Michael wants to drive down to Florida for peacock bass. And, yeah, I've never actually hunted peacock bass. Have you caught a bunch of any of your?
No, my dad
No,
has.
Yeah.
But I think he did like in Panama or something.
Yeah, he chimed in. Peacock bass are fun. Robert, just bring a Pringles can. Okay, the last item on this.
TSA would be like, what is this empty Pringles can? Shitter's full.
Last item on this week's This or That. Joey, do you prefer spring or fall?
Ooh, that's tough. I don't actually know how to answer that. I'm probably going to go fall.
Okay.
Fishing is amazing in the fall, no matter what you're fishing for.
Yeah.
But there's something, I don't know, both are kind of like refreshing because it's weird. A spring 60 degrees is hot.
Mm-hmm.
The fall 60 degrees is cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that fall 60 degrees. Finally putting a jacket on for the first time or a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It's a little nipply out.
You have to take
Like-
your half pants off, put your sweatpants
Yeah, you go.
on.
Yeah, put the full pants on, not the half pants.
Put the full pants.
Fall smells good.
No.
Um,
Football, fires.
I don't like
You
football,
know. I don't know. It's just that time of year. It's,
Yeah.
You
but I don't know. Usually fall for me is like a nice relief. I think the reason I hate spring so much is because I worked in bike and kayak shop, outdoor industry, and spring always means you're about to get slammed.
Your outdoor
Stress level
recreation
goes up,
industry people are
We all hate
slammed.
spring.
Yeah.
We love it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I say fall. The fish are
Yeah.
ready to be caught.
I am not sure where
Pictures are pretty.
My problem with fall is that I almost feel like it's a ticking clock.
Yeah.
It's like you're counting down to those days when you're not going to be able to do something. You won't be able to go fish. You won't be able to get out on a bike. And that's my problem with fall.
But you need that to recharge your battery.
You mean the off season, the winter?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're weird. Like we were talking the other night. Like you can.
Yeah.
You're a creature of habit. Like you do the same thing and do it well
Yeah.
all the time. Or I think so you get burnt out and whatnot. And
Yeah. We were talking about that from a bike perspective. Being on the trainer and piling on a bunch of
Yeah.
trainer miles, and everybody's like, "Oh, going to be ramped up for spring," and then they hit spring, and all of a sudden they realize they kind of burned themselves.
I love fall bike riding.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I love fall fishing. Fall paddling is great.
You know what would be perfect for me if you could have a fall that had only a 2-week winter and then it went right back into.
You just moved to San Diego.
Is that what it is?
Isn't it always like 70 and no humidity there?
I've been to San Diego. I went there for a conference way back in the early 90s.
Oh, was this pre-global warming? Pre-climate change?
I don't know.
Because it was different in the 90s.
I would definitely say, just for the hope of things to come and that shedding, that winter thing, I would definitely a spring, because I love to look forward to the summer and you got all that to look forward to. So for that reason, I would pick spring. But I know exactly what you're talking about with fall. The fish are ready to go. The water's still warm. The air is crisp and cool. You've dumped the humidity.
Oyster season just started.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it's
depend on
it's the closing of crab season, though, so that's the flip side to that.
There's a lot. there's a month away from
I'm
crabs.
still going to go with spring. Still going to go with spring. Where's the live stream at?
Let's
Phil
see.
said fall. Casey said spring. Nothing like those warm, sunny days after a long winter. See, that's it. Yeah. Paul said fall, feeding for winter. Spring can be finicky before and after. That's true. Got spawns to deal with, and fish are all over the place. Robert said fall. Michael said fall. Spring rains are bad as snow stuck inside too much. Bad as snow stuck inside too much. Yeah, I can see that. I
Sean
can
said
see that.
fall.
Yeah, and Sean said fall as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag here. Kind of a mixed bag, but I just love shaking off that winter doldrum and getting right back out in it. So that's kind of like my thing. Joe, you got anything else before we shut this down?
I feel like I did earlier. No, I forgot.
It's okay.
Happens with my age.
Yeah.
It's the gray hair over here.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode and watching this episode of the Maryland Fishing Line. We're here every week just for you guys, and we look forward to it. And I'm looking forward to next week already. Do you know what we're going to talk about next week? We never know what we're going to talk about. We plan these things kind of like last minute.
We'll see what project you get into, and that's what we'll talk about.
It's exactly what it seems to be.
Yeah.
I know like these other podcasts that are very successful, maybe this is why we haven't been, do their like content calendars. They know exactly what they're going to talk about like weeks and months in advance. And we have no idea. And I like it that way. I kind of like the free flow. I like
What
the
could we
ability
talk
to-
about?
I don't know.
Hat
We'll figure it out.
selection?
Maybe if anybody has maybe let's do the live stream. If anybody in the live stream, anybody listening to the podcast has any ideas for what you want to hear us talk about, throw them our way, and we'll
Tackle storage, rod transportation. I don't know.
yeah. We'll look it up. We'll do some research and we'll talk about it. March magazine. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Michael, I don't know if you've heard that or missed that, but March, we got hung up with some printing issues with COVID, and we are not actually going to publish a March magazine. And I said last week that I was actually going to put my March content online because I've got everything ready. But now I'm kind of thinking maybe I should hold on to some of that stuff because it really is due for being in print, I think, at the same time. So I'm kind of, if anybody's got any thoughts on that, everybody that sent me pictures for the brag board, you want to see them in print. You don't want to see them just online. So I'm actually kind of thinking I'm going to hold a lot of that stuff and push it into April. And I've already talked to my advertisers. They're like, cool. They're like, okay, yeah, it's COVID. Be flexible. It's a break. And I've still actually got some February magazines that I'm going to start pushing back out, and a few leftovers. 300 or 400 of them. So that's the deal with the March magazine. Robert's suggestion to have a guest. Yeah, we've done that in the past. So maybe we can find somebody that's
I'm on it.
join us. Okay.
And we get Grade Blanchard and Chad Hoover here together.
How to match your flannel to a T-shirt. How-to guide by Joey and Brian.
I'm not wearing flannel tonight.
I noticed that.
You're wearing your pyramid scheme shirt. We didn't talk about it in the last podcast.
No, we're not allowed to talk about that. I just grabbed this out.
I'm surprised you didn't try to sell me one while you were here.
No. Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can join us on the YouTube channel by subscribing. And, of course, you can follow the podcast through your podcast player of choice. The time change is coming. What is the date? The 13th?
Yeah, it's the day I'll be red fishing.
Score.
I lose an hour. No, I don't.
I don't know. You gain it. I just say you spring forward, you gain an hour of fishing. That's
If
what
I
it works.
gain a redfish, I'm good.
If you're looking for us, Facebook.com/Angler Magazine Chesapeake. I'm on Instagram at Chesapeake Angler and at BN Range. Joey, how can folks get in touch with you?
You can call me.
Okay, that works. 410-231. I don't know what you're doing.
3850. Is that
Yeah.
our last four?
I don't. Yeah, it is actually.
Oh, yeah, see, I'm
We
pretty
could use the same. We just have a podcast.
Yeah, we've
phone
offered to
numbers.
do that.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
410-231-3850.
But I'm Joey Sikorsky 24 at Pack Paddle Sports.
You can obviously youtube.com/Chesapeake Angler. We're right at an hour, Joey, man. We are good at this.
Mhm.
We are good at nailing that hour. Looking forward to next week already. Talk to you then. Love you. Bye.
Phil, it's all about the 100-pound braid. He said techniques for fighting fish from a yak and strong current.
Yeah.
Drag, that's a good reel.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, and keeping the right pressure.
Thank
And
you,
not
everybody.
lifting your rod.
Thank you, everybody in the live stream. We've shut down the audio recording. It's always such a joy to see everybody every week. I really do. I get a kick out of it.
Mhm.
I get a kick out of it. I love chatting with people about fishing. So, and we're actually going to have some fish to talk about here pretty soon. I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah. I would say not next week. I wish next week I'd talk about my trip, but
Yeah,
the following week.
Joey's going to get in some redfish.
Finally, I said I was going to do it a few weeks ago, but Texas screwed that one up. Look, for
Yeah,
his
that-
mother-in-law
that-
couldn't get up here.
Texas is a mess, man. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I tell you, I feel bad for those people. But, they wanted to be on their own power grid, so That's the way it works. Okay, we're going to shut it down, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.